This is The Spot, a BYU-Idaho radio production where we talk about what you talk about at BYU-Idaho. Today, we're here with
Ezra Barron,
Grace Andrus,
and Abigale Maxfield. And today we are talking about class scheduling and electives for university students here at BYU-I.
And this episode will air, I think, a week before registration opens. So
Yeah, like the earliest registration.
if you're lucky.
Yeah.
if you're one of the chosen few that gets to,
Not wait 3 weeks.
yeah, exactly, and get slim pickings. So good luck to everybody out there.
Yeah, seriously. I think class scheduling is always, for me, I always want to put it off because it feels like such a tedious schedule. Like, I know some people aren't like fans of like Rate My Professor, but I always have to have that pulled up in like a separate tab, like, and then pulled up with like the registration app. So I guess like my question to you guys is like, when you're registering for classes, is that like a process you dread? Or is that something you're like, no, like I need to get in, I have a plan, like I've mapped it out ahead of time? Or is that something that's just like really difficult for you to get done?
Sure. I don't think it's like terribly difficult for me because I know that's going to change 4 times by the time like I'm into my actually doing school. Like usually I just get in there and I'm just like, this looks good enough. And I just start hitting times and hope it works out.
Yeah.
That's honestly fair. What I used to do is I would just not have any idea what I'm supposed to do until day of or a week after or 3 weeks after. Like I was very chill in registering for classes. But now I meet with my advisor before, and not a student advisor, no offense to those student advisors out there, but with a full-time advisor because they are the most helpful, and then she maps it out for me. So then when day of registration comes, I just plug in all my course codes and then I'm done.
Yeah.
So I do that, and I don't pay too much attention to like who my professors are
Okay, yeah.
typically, but unless it's a religion professor, because I hate having bad religion professors.
Yeah, like
Just-
ones that you don't click with.
Yeah, it just ruins my whole vibe. So
Yeah. Yeah, I know a lot of people who like I have some friends that they'll like you said, like they'll have the course codes and they'll even maybe know like the professors that they want. Maybe they've like had classes from them and they talk to them ahead of time. But for me, it just like, I don't know, there's something about like when you add the class and it not being just like readily available as you're looking at like other class times that like really stresses me out. Like I wish there was some way to see that simultaneously, because it's like, oh yeah, I think I can add this class, and it's like, oh no, this conflicts with another time, and you're like, how am I supposed to know that? Like, so it just like really stresses me out.
Yeah.
yes, that process, like where you have classes registered for and then you're trying to register for a new one,
Yeah.
and you can't see that it clashes until you try to.
Yeah. They also had like updated that interface in like ages.
No,
So it is just the most crusty old where you have to like hit like reveal all the classes, you know, and then you're like scrolling forever and then you click it and then you scroll down and add it.
And
And then it's
add
like,
at the very bottom.
sorry, dude.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you can't do this.
I know. It's
Oh.
so, and you can't like get back to that page.
Or yeah,
So
you
do it
you can't
again,
click the
and
back
you're
button
like,
on
oh.
your browser or else the whole thing will just die. It's crazy.
Yeah, like as soon as you hit that back button on the browser, it's like, there's an error. Actually, you clicked the wrong thing.
No, seriously.
I've done that.
I honestly think it's BYU's interface or maybe it's Utah State's, but they like, you basically like put in what your order is, like a restaurant, and you're like, hey, this is what I want to order for the semester. And then
Yeah.
that makes sure that everything is approved and everything goes well. And then the day you can register, you just hit register. And then everything in your menu that you've ordered just goes right in.
Oh,
And I'm
that's
like,
Yes.
why don't we do that? But I can't remember if it's Provo or Utah State. But anyways,
dang, that's awesome.
that sounds so nice.
Is it like, do you get to pick your teachers too?
I don't know. Honestly, don't know. I just remember complaining about registration, and one of my friends was like, that's interesting. This is what we do. And I was like,
Yeah. I mean, it was better. My dad would talk about it and he was like, yeah, back in 1990, whatever.
1845.
Yeah. He said that when he went to BYU, he would call BYU. He said he would look at the list, call BYU and say, hey, I'd like to register for this class. And then they would go and they would look. And then they'd be like, okay, yeah, you can register for that one. He'd be like, cool, cool. And then the next one that I have. So I guess it could be infinitely worse.
I guess
Yeah.
that's true.
That
Yeah.
would be brutal, actually. Yeah, I think for me, like the best thing that I've found is I research, like as soon as my registration opens up and I have access to the catalog and like all the times is I'll be like, oh, I want to take it. I'd love to take it from this teacher. And then I write down like that specific course code and the teacher and like the time, like just like manually on a piece of paper. And then I go through and I do that with all the classes I want. And then I see like which ones overlap. And I'm like, okay, well, if I want to take this, I can't take this. And then I go and I register for all of them at once I figured out like what I want to do on paper kind of a thing. And so for me, that's like been really beneficial because I can like see it mapped out and be like, that's not going to work, or this might work, or if I adjust this, okay, well, let's see if there's a different teacher, a different time. Anyway, so I think that that's been really helpful for me. And like, I don't know, iPlan is like so stressful. Like I go in to like look at what classes I need and I'm just like, what is this software? Like it's just so laggy. And it's really
especially around registration.
Especially around registration.
And then when you need it.
Yeah. Which is so unfortunate because it's actually like an ingenious tool, like in theory, but it's like it's
garbage.
Yeah, but when you actually try to access it, it'll be like there's an error. You need to update it. Like I've had to reload Grad Planner like 5 times
like
in one session.
Seize up and freeze and just be gone. And then of course everything works great, and then you start like actually taking like classes, and then you realize you're like, oh my gosh, I can't do this for a whole semester.
Yeah.
Have you ever had those classes like you walk in there, get 10 seconds in, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna have to not do this actually.
Yeah.
No, I've been there. We were just talking about it before, but like the first 2 weeks of classes, nothing is set in stone for me. Like I'm like, but recently, since I meet with my professor and I kind of do what you do, or not with my professor and my advisor, it like helps me a lot more because I'm like, okay, I'm not moving too much. Like there's a couple of things I might move, but
but like you have like a base that you're.
And the further along you get into school, the harder, or like I guess the more easy it is to keep your classes.
Yeah,
because you have no choice.
Yeah, like the options become slimmer, right? Like only this teacher teaches this class, and you're like, all right, I guess that's the class I'm taking. You know, like that's it. That's the only time it's offered, kind of a thing. Yeah, I think that you brought up a good point, Grace. That like sometimes academic advising is not the most helpful in my experience, which like is like I think that like I don't think there's anything. Like, I'm not, like, throwing shade on that whole department because I've definitely gone and had good experiences, but I've also gone and had conversations with people like, hey, I want advice on this. And they're students that are working there and they don't have any input. They don't have any advice. They don't have any, like, thing to contribute. And so I had the best experience when I met with a full-time faculty.
Yes, that has, like, been the biggest game changer.
Yeah.
It's hard because the student advisors, they don't know enough to like help you strategize. They're just like, oh, you have a blank answer, or a blank question, I have a blank answer. And like if it differs from any of that, I have no idea.
It's really good for, I think, if you're like a freshman.
Yeah, I was gonna say like at the beginning, I think it's really helpful. Like
but when you're in the trenches because you haven't looked at your grad plan for like 7 straight months, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh crap. I don't even know what to do.
7 straight months.
Have you ever done that? Where you just haven't looked at your grad plan? That was me like, for such a long time. And then I was like, I need to lock in. I don't even know when I graduate. And so I was like, and I was like, okay, I was like, here's what I need to do. But yeah.
I think it's hard too because BYU-I, like other universities, when you apply to a university, they're like, welcome, graduate of 2027 or whatever.
Like, they're like, you're in and out in 4 years. Like, they're banking on it.
And BYU-I is like, welcome, freshman. And seriously, I don't think I've ever met anyone who knows when they graduate unless it's within like 3 semesters.
Yeah, like within a year.
They're like,
about that. Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe.
I've been here since 2014. I'm still looking around, trying to get a feel for the school.
It's like, what year?
Of course, that just like endlessly takes different electives and stuff until they're just like, oh, hey, yo.
Hey,
pick something. But,
Yeah, but I think like at the beginning of your career, like we said, like academic advising is really, like I think they are useful, right? Because at that point, you're just going in blind, like I don't know what to expect. You have lots of questions, and they're like, especially the student staff are trained to like answer those kinds of questions. And but like the further I got in, the less helpful I found them to be, which was like you said, like a game changer for me was like meeting directly with like a full-time faculty, which like I'm sure that just has to do with experience, right? Like so I no shade on like the student employees there at all.
And I think knowing like the course, what is it called? Not schedule, but course catalog well enough to help a student strategize.
Yeah, for sure.
So like being like my full-time advisor told me that I would graduate sooner if I switched catalog years. And like a student advisor I don't think would know that.
Yeah.
Off the top of their head. I mean maybe like a seasoned one, but
yeah.
So like very specific things, or like I was a transfer student too, and that was also like a huge thing that the student advisors didn't know how to help me with. So I think you're right. Like they're really helpful until they're not, and then you have to know when to pivot to a full-time advisor.
I agree.
Because we do want to graduate. Like that's the point.
Yeah, and I think that's when you need to start strategizing.
Seems like
what should I do with these extra?
When do you guys graduate?
Yeah,
stuff like that.
Yeah, when do you graduate?
No, next year.
Oh, I don't know.
Next year.
I'm like next year, but I don't know what semester.
Yeah, no, it's a toss-up too.
See, I'm like
next year.
up there. Oh, 6 or 7 months.
Oh, come on. You're better than that. You're better than that.
Sorry.
Oh.
But maybe I'm not.
No, you sound not like a parent, like an old person. Well, I don't think. So how do you guys feel? We were talking a little bit about this. How do you feel like about the scheduling, like their registration? Like it opens for some people, and then they're like, "Hey, no, you get to wait like 3 weeks." Like, have you had that? Yeah, you're a junior. It's like I think usually the worst.
Yeah. So for me, So for me, a long time I was undecided, which means that like basically my major was just general studies. And so for a long time, my like consistently, like semester after semester after semester, I was the last group of people to register because I didn't have like a specified field. Like, so I can take whatever classes and I'm still getting like my associates is what it is. And so I was like, okay. And so that was so stressful for me all the time because I was always on the back end. And I just was like, okay, like all the classes I wanted to take are full. Like I like all the teachers I like had like my eye on maybe taking a class from like are full. And so it was just like that was so stressful for me, like personally. And like I understand it in theory, but I think a lot of people struggle with it. Like you said, I think juniors like I like get the brunt of it, which is really unfortunate.
It's like Mongolian throat singing with Brother Mingus. It's like, Brother Mingus, I've never heard of this man.
It's like learning Arabic, and you're like,
you're learning beginning Arabic, and you're like, I guess.
No, it's
no choice.
That's actually really funny because I was looking at the course catalog literally last night, and Arabic 1 has like several seats open. So the fact that you guys said that was Arabic so funny.
There's some outrageous classes, not as outrageous as some universities, but like I'll look and I'll be like
there was a university that did like an intro to Taylor Swift. I remember reading a news article about it. It was Harvard or Yale or something.
Honestly, that would make sense because she's like has a business empire.
Yeah, she's like
so I would honestly that tracks.
She rules the world, I think. Just kidding. She rules some people's world.
She's
the golden calf for some people.
Not mine.
Not mine.
World.
No.
But yeah, sometimes you get stuck with just outrageous classes. Nothing good at all.
Yeah, or
it's gonna be the boringest thing I've ever taken.
No, yeah.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say that. Sophomore and juniors, I feel like struggle the most with the scheduling. Seniors, you're in like your last classes, and
nobody's signing up for level 400.
Yeah, once you get to the 400s, I feel like it's like the way is cleared, like the Red Sea has parted. You're like, let's go, like I got it.
There it is, the trenches.
Oh my gosh, everyone and their dog is in there.
I know.
Still kids that don't really know what they're doing and kids that are like tasting it out,
The worst is when you meet someone and they're like, I don't know, I just kind of wanted to explore. And I'm like, you didn't even need to take this class. I almost didn't get in here because of you.
Yeah, you're like, I had to talk to the teacher and get off the wait list.
How
what are you talking about?
I have to beg for this spot so I can graduate. I know, right? I have been that person though. I think I took like an astronomy class once.
Yo, intro to astronomy?
Intro to astronomy, except it was full of very interesting fellows.
Yeah.
And one kid got really aggressive when I was like, I'm a theater major, but I kind of wanted to. And he was like, why are you even taking this class? And I was like,
because it's a 100 level class. Like
the moon.
I like it. I'm a fan.
I'm a fan. I like it. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
And what about it? That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wait, you were a theater major?
I am a theater.
You are a theater major,
but I'm not a theater kid. Important distinction.
All right, cool.
Important distinction.
You like a theater?
I needed to make up my mind, and I was like,
friend?
I guess.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but I don't like seeing freaking Wicked inside of the KFC. Like,
no.
Yeah.
If we asked you to, would you?
No.
Okay. Sorry. No, I'm just wondering. Just wondering how theater you are.
But yeah, no, I was just like all the ones I did, and then there's a lot of room for electives, which is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Speaking of the late registration, sorry, just to jump back here, have you ever been stuck with a professor that you just like do not click with? Like their teaching style is not good for you? And like, if so, I guess my question is like, I know some people don't like Rate My Professor, especially professors, but I actually really appreciate it because even if they have a lot of like quote unquote negative reviews, usually if I read enough of them, I can usually figure out like, okay, they probably just have this type of teaching style that doesn't click with these people.
Yeah.
And sometimes people are on there like outing themselves. Like they're like, I failed this class and this teacher stinks. And I'm like, well, you're probably just mad about your grade. And so like, I don't know. Do you like put much stock into it? Do you ever use it? Like, is it helpful? Do you ever leave reviews? Like,
I use it I just like sometimes will use it for like religion professors. So I just
Yeah.
don't like when religion professors aren't.
I've never been bitter enough.
A good fit.
Yeah, I've never been bitter enough either, but I do wish that the professors would read Rate My Professor. Because even if the students are like really unfairly judging them, I still think it would like cause some awareness that, hey, there's 15 people who think that you talk too much or you have too many
Yeah.
tangents. Maybe you should chill out on that, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. But also, like, I've read Rate My Professors for some of the people, like, I know, like, teachers I know pretty well.
Yeah.
And they've, like, I read the negative reviews and it's like, I'm like, that makes no sense at all. So, like, I don't know how to, like, interpret a lot of
Yeah.
their reviews,
Yeah.
even if they seem like, it's just very hard to tell sometimes.
Mhm.
Unless it's, like, overwhelmingly, like, you can tell. But
Yeah.
and usually I don't leave any reviews because I also think Rate My Professor works off of a very interesting thing where it's kind of like, no one ever leaves a fast food review for it being good. They only leave it if it was really bad.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I feel like that's most of Rate My Professors. People usually go to it if they're either like super duper bad or like they changed their life good. And so like it just seems like really on one end or the
Like
other.
super polarized.
Yeah, they're either 5 stars or 2.
Honestly, that's a really fair point because I think Rate My Professor would be so much more helpful if someone was like for a religion class, for example, they're like, oh yeah, he requires this and this and this every week. He requires this and this every month.
Yeah,
He
like,
requires this and this.
Mhm.
And like,
Gave you a map for the class.
and I wish it was more like a student's interpretation of how the class is structured instead of just a syllabus.
Yeah.
Because I think Rate My Professor could be useful in that way. But
Good.
what you're saying, yeah, like
Just go in there and they vent.
they're like, this sucks, la 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 la. And the other one's,
Yeah.
he changed my life,
Yeah.
and now I'm gonna be a senator.
Found my wife.
He found my
Saying, yeah, it's like just crazy stuff like that where I'm like, this is not helpful. But I think they should flip it around. I think the professor should be able to rate the student. Imagine if you had a student,
That'd be awesome. All
the professors could look at you and they'd be like, yeah, he sucks.
So like, you're not getting in my class.
Yes, before you register, they're like,
Before you're
"Bro,
registered. Hey, I read your reviews. Unfortunately, there's no place.
Unfortunately, there's no place.
Yeah, we're gonna have to let you go.
we're pushing you to the next semester."
We're going in
Yeah.
a new direction.
We're going in a new direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that like I said, I feel like I can usually like if they have a bunch of like quote unquote negative reviews, I feel like I can usually like read between the lines enough.
Mhm.
But it also I think for me allows me like a glimpse at like yeah like okay like like you said like multiple people are claiming that this person like doesn't stay on topic and or maybe like doesn't give clear feedback on grading. And so like that's something where I'm like okay like if I take this teacher I need to know that like if I want clear feedback on grading I need to go schedule office hours with them because I've never ever met a teacher that won't like give you feedback if you just go to their office hours and schedule something with them. So I'm like okay that's just like good to know. And so
Yeah.
yeah, I think that it's good, but I will just say that some of my favorite classes I've ever taken have been from teachers who are not even on Rate My Professor. So like they don't have any reviews. And it's just like a complete shot in the dark. I go in blind and it's been like some of the best experiences like on multiple occasions, like 5 or 6 times at least. And so like I will just say like I don't think it's fair for people to put like so much stock into it.
Yeah.
I think it can be a valuable tool at times, but I don't think people should like be like, "Oh, they have like a bunch of 1-star ratings. Like I'm out. They're an awful professor." And I'm like, "Well, okay. Like, have you ever taken a class from them?" Like
It's like a good addition, but not like the only
Yeah.
tuition makers.
it's just like more input.
Sometimes you
Just
just need a teacher that I think is bad because you're
Oh,
not,
yeah.
you're gonna get to like your workplace and you're not
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
be able to be like, yeah, actually I just
Rate
want
my
to quit.
boss.
It
I-
rate my boss.
You can quit, don't get me wrong, but yeah, I feel like can't always get it perfect. So sometimes you just need
Yeah.
to endure a semester.
Yeah,
with a
absolutely.
professor that's not your favorite.
And also like it can help you like learn valuable life skills, like you said, like getting along with maybe personalities that differ from yours, or like maybe methodologies that are like push you in ways that you're like, I wouldn't do it this way, but like I guess I'll adapt because this is what's being asked, kind of a thing. So I definitely think, like you said, sometimes you just need a teacher that is like not necessarily the best fit for you. I think it's definitely a valuable thing. Yeah. Well, we've talked about class scheduling, and so I guess like how do you feel about electives? Like we're supposed to take a certain number. I can't remember the number off the top of my head, but you're supposed to take a certain number of electives, and then of course like your general credit classes. So I guess my question is like, what do you guys think about electives? Do you think that they're valuable? Do you think they're a waste of credits and time? Do you think that like they give you a diverse education? Do you think it's fun to take fun classes? Or do you think they're good for like diversifying skill sets for like job markets in the future? Like, for example, if you were like a business major and then you took a few marketing classes as electives, kind of a thing, right? Like they aren't necessarily in your curriculum, but they might help you in the future. So
I like electives. I think they're fun. Like I talked about like earlier before we started, I've done like university band and university orchestra and just like stuff outside of my major that I just wouldn't have been able to make time for if it wasn't a class, if that makes any sense.
That
Yeah,
makes perfect
absolutely.
Like I wouldn't be able to do it. I also think it's like I don't know. I think it's definitely how you approach them, but I think if you look at it as an opportunity to, I guess, like augment everything else that you're doing,
Yeah.
it can become something pretty helpful. But then I also know people that just kind of, oh, I'm only taking this class just to fill an elective. And so I think sometimes it can be waste opportunity.
Yeah, like they don't go into it with the right attitude.
Yeah, I think that you do find people who are like, I just wanted to find somebody to fill my time. And I'm like, bro, why didn't you pick something fun? Like,
Yeah.
there's so many opportunities to be fun, and you're in this random class that I have to take.
Yeah.
And you're taking it as an elective. So I think that electives can be fun. I transferred in with a lot of credits, so I didn't really have any elective room,
Yeah.
unfortunately. But I have been taking choir every semester, and that's been so fun. Something that, like you were saying, I wouldn't have time otherwise. And so it's good to have it in my schedule. And like my friend, he's a business major, and he decided to take harp lessons, and now he loves it. And now
awesome.
he's going to take harp, I think, maybe even minor in it. So
Oh, what the heck?
it's like so random, but I think they can add a lot to your person. I don't know.
Yeah. I just feel like you rarely know what you want to do when you get to college. Like with 100%, there's like barely anyone, and electives can sometimes help inform that decision.
And like you said, I think that Grace hit on something is like, I think that they provide a really awesome opportunity to like give you more skills or like better diversify your time, because you're, like you said, you wouldn't have time otherwise, right? Like if you weren't taking band or choir, then you wouldn't be playing your bass or you wouldn't be singing, kind of a thing. And so just kind of like to keep those skill, like in touch with those skills so they don't get dusty. So I think that electives are really fun. I'm like a really big proponent for taking like fun electives. Like I like love to like, I'm like, you want to take an elective? Like, let's find you a good one. Like,
Yeah.
here we go. And so I guess I'm curious, like, what are some other good electives that you've taken? I know, Grace, you said you haven't taken very many
Not very many.
here. Did
But
you
you've
take
done
any?
choir. Do you do you sing a devotional choir? Is that what you do? Okay.
I'm just in like the basic women's choir. It's nothing
Yeah.
crazy. But this year we're singing conference, and that's another
That's
opportunity
awesome.
that I wouldn't get otherwise.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a really fun elective. And like I've taken a couple of classes that aren't electives, but they weren't for me, but you can take them as electives. And it's on your list, but interpersonal theory and practice with Brother Judkins.
Mhm.
He such a good class. Like I think that's the reason why I like really turned into communications, because before I was undecided.
Mhm.
And anyways, seriously, his class was life-changing. And then I think I took like an intro to interdisciplinary studies, another like elective course kind of.
Yeah.
Changed my life. Like, so both of those were really good, not elective, but elective courses.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've taken choir, and then I think I'm going to take like a singing class, like a more lesson-based singing class.
Cool.
Yes. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I think that will help too. And it'll just be more fun because, like in college, you don't have time for all your passions. And
Mm-hmm.
anyways, so those are like really the only ones I can think of. But
Yeah. Lots of stuff. I did one where it was a class about agronomy.
That's awesome.
what is agronomy?
It is like the study of soils and
Oh, dirt.
it was
Crops as
in
well.
crops. Oh, what was it? I think it was like already a general education class, but it was different from like light and sound and stuff like
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
I wish I could remember what it was called, but it was such like an out there class. It was super strange. Like it was just stuff I've never like, has nothing to do with theater. It has
Yeah.
nothing to do with like communications or video production and stuff like that. But it was still just, I thought it was really fun. And then of course music stuff. I just take it because it's a nice break from everything I do so routinely
Yeah.
that it's just nice to do something else.
I
Yeah.
concur. I think my friend Moku, he also is like a exercise physiology major.
Mhm.
He learned piano growing up.
Yeah.
And his parents were like, what are you doing with this skill? And he's like, nothing. So now he's taking intro to piano, and he's just like re-finishing those skills. But anyways,
That's awesome.
so
Yeah. I like love helping people find electives. I don't know why. I just think it's a blast. I'm like, let's find something that you're gonna love, or like that's like you said, like agronomy, like intro to agronomy or something like is like so out there, but it really does kind of like just open your eyes to something that you really just had no idea about, right? Like not that you're gonna like shift your major and pivot and go study it, but now you're like, oh cool, I'm like more informed. Like I think maybe just like a mildly good example of that is like I took the intramurals class that Brother Hansen teaches. And that class just teaches you all about like intramural sports, like how they're run, how they're like how the programs are designed, and like you go on a field trip where you compare like our intramural sports program with like another university's like during that class, and you're put into like groups and you have to like know everybody's names. And so it's just like one of those classes I walked away from like knowing a lot of people like still to this day that I'm like in contact with and like am friends with. And then also just like I would have never thought like an intramural sports program had that much involved, and like we only scratched the surface kind of a thing. And that was like such a fun class because you have to like make your own sport in that class, and you're introduced to like all these other like new sports that are being made. And so I was just like, what the heck? That's so cool. And so that's one that I often will like advocate for people is I'm like, you need to take intramurals. It's so much fun. So that's a really good one. But I don't know. I thought we'd maybe just go over some like fun electives just towards the end of our little episode here, just because I have a list that I've kind of made.
Share. Yeah.
So we've got like any of the intro to dance classes. So they've got like tap, ballet, jazz, social dance, modern.
I have thought about taking one of these in the spring because one of my friends is in it and she said it's so fun.
Dance class. Except for Rick really crummy at dancing. So I was like, I should try to take one of the intro to dance classes.
I wish there was like an intro to hip hop. That would be so fun to do.
That would be super cool.
And then I could be cool at parties. Let's not go to so many parties.
Cool at parties.
Yeah. Because that would be awesome. Anyways.
Yeah, you might be able to do it. Well, maybe not in modern, but they have like world. But anyways, so there's some fun ones. And then there's like tons of exercise and fitness classes people can take.
There's
like,
crazy. I think there was a cross-country skiing one at one point.
It's being offered this semester. It's usually offered in the winter.
Oh, man.
Yeah. It's a rec management class. It's literally on this list.
It's so random. Yeah.
It's so random, but it's super fun. And like they have yoga, they have like aerobic fitness, they have body weight management. Which I took that class and it was a blast. It was a half semester class. So it was just the first block and that was super fun. It just teaches you like kind of some basics of nutrition and like basics of exercise. And that was really nice because I feel like a lot of people, especially me for exercise, don't really know where to start. And that was just like such a good intro level class. But there's like lifeguarding and indoor sports. And then, you can get certified through the Red Cross by the end of it to be a lifeguard.
Yeah, that's fire.
Yeah, it's super cool. And then for communications, I have interpersonal theory on here. I put the scroll practicum as well because anybody from any major can take that and you don't need like prereqs to do it. And it's pretty cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. And then I put public speaking because I think that's a valuable
that should
skill.
be a required class.
I think so too.
I do think if there's
like a general
class
credit
that should be a
class.
general credit required is public speaking, because I can't imagine like any job where you're not going to have to publicly present.
Yeah.
No,
that's
literally.
So fair.
And professional presentations from Brother Hack.
That's what I
Shout out.
so
Brother Hack's professional presentations class is so awesome.
It's like life changing.
Yes,
It is-
I was
it's
just
so
going to
fun.
say that. I was like, public speaking, but I'm like, but if we could require professional presentations,
Yeah.
life changing.
I have them grouped because for professional presentations, you have to have public speaking to
Yeah.
be taken. But
It's
both
so
are
worth-
great skills.
Yeah.
And
And it applies to any major because you just can talk about whatever you want to talk about.
yeah, absolutely.
Definitely worth.
Definitely
worth
worth
your time,
taking the
always.
prereq, especially because the prereq is awesome.
The easiest 3 credits you'll ever get. I promise you.
It's so fun. It's so fun. And then I went to like the theater classes and did like intro to film art and analysis, acting one.
You took acting one?
voice
Wait, are
diction.
these ones you took?
No, these are just
These
a
are
list.
theater ones. I can test. I TA'd for intro to film art and analysis.
Such a fun class.
That is a ridiculously easy class with Brother Oliphant or
Mm.
Sister Schmid. It is so easy and it's so fun.
I
What
took
do
it with
you
Brother
do?
Benson. And
Brother
it was a
Benson too.
blast.
Yeah, Brother Benson also teaches it. It like rotates and stuff, but it's. I mean, you'd learn about movies and you talk about movies.
And you watch movies.
You'll watch movies.
Mhm.
That sounds so fun.
So
It's like
easy.
you watch like different, like you have different sections for like
Yeah.
different
Your
genres of film.
cinematography or
Yeah.
genre.
Like musicals and like animation. And so you like watch one, discuss it. And then there's like some like, at least in my class, there were some quizzes that you
Yeah.
just like took on like the readings. And it was
Cool.
super manageable.
Okay,
really
this
fun.
is good to know because my younger brother, he starts school next semester.
Oh, what the heck?
It's like, I don't know what classes to take. And I was like, well,
Dude, just give him this list.
hopefully I learned something from this podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a super fun one. And then you could take like any of the foreign language classes at the first level, but like my disclaimer is that while that's a valuable skill, they usually are pretty intensive workloads. But it's like one of those things where it's like, well, they kind of have to be because they're trying to get you like to like at least start learning the basics of a language. So, but anyway, so those are all really good. One class that I took that I like loved was religious freedom. It's like a general civics class.
Oh.
And it's a blast. 10 out of 10 recommend it. It's because it's not a religion class, but you're talking about like how like religious freedom is changing in countries around the world, including like the US, and like how it's evolving and how it's being limited a lot in a lot of countries. It was like really, really interesting. And in that class, we like, I think it was in that class, we read like court cases of like, is this constitutional or are they infringing upon freedom of religion? And so like we like debated those kinds of things. And that was a super cool class. And then they have like American Heritage, which is a really good one. That's like a really brief like history class. And then I have like Conflict and Peace, which is like Peace 101 is like the course code for that. Because I don't know if any of our listeners know, but we offer a peace minor or cluster here. And so you can get it in like conflict resolution and like peace and like problem solving. And
That's cool.
yeah, a really popular one that a lot of people take, and it's actually often full, is Intro to Floral Design.
I've heard that's hard to get into.
Yeah.
I know how to put flowers in a pot.
Yeah. And another one is Intro to Landscape Architecture and Design. Both of those are horticulture like intro classes.
Okay, cool.
And they're pretty cool and popular. For music classes, they have like tons of choirs. I didn't want to like list them all because there's like a bajillion. And like vocal instruction classes, there's like piano instruction, basic piano, guitar, like practical musicianship, which is like specifically designed to like help you just like fill any music calling within the church, like conduct music and like learn minor music theory.
And any of the university ensembles, anything that says like university something, so like I did university orchestra and university band. They're all awesome. You don't need to audition for them. They have to let you take them in, which is the reason why I was in it.
Yeah, you don't need to be a music major.
8th clarinet. There's 8 of us. But it's great. Yeah, so check out those ones. They're pretty fun.
Yeah, tons and tons of them. One that's kind of different and a little out there is auto ownership and maintenance. They teach you like basic care for your car.
Bro, I need to be in that.
It's really cool. And then one that's like a diverse skill that you could take is Intro to Excel. It's offered only online, but like Excel is one of those skills that like there's just so many ways you can use it. So this one's specifically focused on like how businesses use it.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, so that's one that you could totally take if you're looking for something to like diversify skill set instead of just like a fun class. Intro to Interior Design, Family Leadership and Management, Food Safety and Sanitation are all like family consumer science classes.
Yes. There's also a budgeting class. I think it's called Money Management.
Yes.
My friend took that class and she loved it. She
Yeah.
so much from that class.
Yeah.
So in addition to that one too.
Yeah, money management's really good.
I think there's a cooking class.
Yes.
But I can't ever figure out what it's called.
It depends on where you're. Yeah, I was like, it depends if you're going what is science or if you're going to family consumer science.
Yeah, I had a roommate who took a cooking class.
Rec management has an outdoor cooking class.
I think he liked it.
Rec management has an outdoor cooking class?
Yeah, they don't offer it in the winter, but they offer it in the spring and the fall.
Okay, that's
cool. Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's super cool. You learn how to
like how to cook a hot dog.
Yeah. They're like, you stick the hot dog
marshmallow on the poker.
And a starburst. Now let's do a starburst.
You say a starburst? You put starburst on your s'mores?
Well, you've never done starburst over a
you're like
fire?
Putting I've never once put a starburst.
It's so good. It gets like melty and gooey, and then it's so like it's so
interesting.
I can confirm.
So good.
Very interesting.
I have the Intro to Astronomy one down here because I recently covered the planetarium, and the guy who ran it said that he thinks it's a great elective and everyone should take it because you go and you spend time in the planetarium.
You get to look at the moon.
Yeah, which you're a fan of.
That's it.
You know, Ezra.
I love the stars.
Loves the moon.
There's a research skills class that the library offers, and it's
like as a roommate who highly recommends that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Just where you learn how to use the library's tools?
Yeah,
library
just like
systems
and also use like the databases.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because I just learned library systems in colleges are not the same as public libraries. Fun fact.
Yes.
There's more stuff like that.
That's a fun fact.
Yes.
Actually, we're gonna do an episode on libraries in a couple weeks here, like
nice.
university versus public.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's
Cool.
actually funny that you brought that up. And then we have like a few rec management classes. So I have cross country skiing on here. They have wilderness first aid, they have leadership, and then they have like this one called basic outdoor skills where you like plan a 3-day camping trip and execute it. And that's like the class. So you're learning like literal just basic outdoor skills, like the supplies you need. And then there's a class fee for that one, which I guess will be my disclaimer, but it covers all the equipment rentals like for the trip. So
cool.
And then human nutrition essentials. And then I'm a big fan of like any of the general science classes, like humans atoms and like sustaining human life. And
That's
then
it. Sustaining human life is the
stewardship.
agronomy one that I took.
Yeah, those are all great
They're
classes.
super fun.
Yeah, they're super fun. And you'll have to take so many of them, but taking an extra one's worth it.
Yeah.
And then I just have philosophy classes on here. My husband is like a really big philosophy lover.
Philosopher.
He's a philosopherizerist.
Oh yeah.
And he and he thinks that everybody should take one, and I've met other people that agree just because it gives like such good critical thinking skills. Like their classes like all about like fallacies and like logical thinking.
Yeah.
And so like they're really good, especially if you want to like ever go into law. Like I think those classes are like recommended sometimes for like the pre-law cluster that you can add. But anyway, so those are some of the classes I have. And my other just like little plug is that if you don't want to like have to take all these, that you can always add like a minor or a cluster or an emphasis.
Or both.
Or both, instead of like in quotes like wasting credit.
Yeah, you can do like a minor, cluster, and a certificate. I don't know if you can do all three of them, but like there's a lot of opportunity to take random classes if you don't want to.
Absolutely. And yeah, I think it's super cool that like we have the opportunity to just like have a little bit more guidance, because like obviously clusters are not like a widely recognized like thing to put on like a resume or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think it's cool that you can kind of like, oh yeah, and like I've taken several classes like on that topic, and you can like maybe plug that as like a skill set. So, yeah.
Which I think is honestly fair. I think that there's so many things that BYU-Idaho has to offer, and I don't even know. I learned so much just from this class. And I'm totally going to be taking a picture of the list and sending it. Don't worry, we'll put the list in
the description.
We'll put it in the description. Don't worry, so you don't need to be writing any of this down. You've been listening to The Spot, a production of BYU-Idaho Radio. Today's hosts were
Ezra Barron,
Grace Andrus,
and Abigale Maxfield.
The views and opinions of this podcast are not that of BYU-Idaho Radio or the university, and are solely the opinions of the hosts. Our theme music is Finding Happiness by DJ Quads and The Perpetual Ticking of Time by Artificial Music. To listen to more episodes of The Spot, visit our website byui.edu/radio and click podcasts. Follow us on social media at BYUI_The Spot, and be sure to subscribe to The Spot podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Have a topic in mind? Leave us a comment and let us know what we should talk about next.